Hi, it's Jen Gilbert, and as I was driving around the other day, taking Samantha from soccer practice to cross-country practice and here and there, I was listening to the news. Okay, mistake number one, I'll admit, listening to the mainstream media news. But they, again, mainstream media, were talking about Obama's approval rating being in the toilet. Not a real big surprise there, I'm sure, but the center of this news broadcast was the question on how the White House was going to be handling this news. In other words, what was going to be the spin on the bad news. So here comes my second mistake. I continued to listen. So the reporter went on to say that the White House is acknowledging that the unemployment rate is going to remain high throughout the elections. Again, not a big surprise there. But what they're also saying is that while slower than they wanted or expected, our economic conditions are improving in spite of the high unemployment rate. At that point, I looked at my dial and I just shook my head. Mainstream election year media at its best were my thoughts. Because when I came home, of course, I was doing a little bit of research on what I was going to post on my blogs on the current news site. And just a few of the headliners that I saw that day were: one, debt crisis. Path to recovery is narrow, says the IMF chief. Peter Schiff wrote, expect more inflation, printing, and higher gold. Another headliner, is China ready to really pull the plug? Another one, America is failing miserably in this vital area of the economy. And yet another one that I saw was 10 U.S. housing markets that could collapse this year. Now, I'm not really sure where the White House is getting their information, but I am fairly sure that I'm not reading the same publications that they're reading. Now, sure, some of you might be saying I'm just reading about the doom and gloom, and this economic collapse that I continue to refer to is nonsense. And you know what? Maybe it is, but I would so much rather heed the recommendations of people like Gerald Celente and others to prepare, survive, and prevail. Now, I'm not going to suggest to cut yourself off entirely from mainstream media. I can't, because I get such a chuckle out of it. But how else would you learn that the White House guest crasher ran off with the guitarist from Journey? But what I am suggesting to you is to explore the other means of education as well. After all, as I always say, it's just a little bit of education that you might have not had yesterday. The more you have, the better your life will become. As always, I invite you to visit with me at both of my blogs where I update on the current economic trends of our day. Of course, all of my information is below and at the end of this video. Now go and make it a terrific day.